Welcome our featured Memorial Day speaker, Army Command Sergeant Major Jocene Henderson.
Thank you. I didn't realize you were going to read all of that. I feel really old. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'd like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Wynn Harper. He actually invited me here to share your Memorial Day festivities with you, and I got to tell you, it's been really wonderful to be here. I'm from a really small town myself in the southern tier in Allegheny County, which I think is probably one of the most impoverished counties in New York State. And so coming back here today kind of feels like home to me. So thank you all for having me here. I'm sure, like many other Americans who come to Memorial Day observance, you're expecting a speech about service and sacrifice. And this morning we will talk about that, but I'm also going to talk about something a little unexpected. Decorations, and how we can truly decorate for Memorial Day. First, it's important to understand the word decorate. Second, I want to show you that Memorial Day is uniquely American. And next, I want to tell you about the optimism that is our nation's greatest decoration. Finally, I want you to know how America can truly decorate for this holiday and remember the men and women like Specialist Joseph Valesco who made this day possible. Memorial Day was first called Decoration Day, and to really get the significance of that title, Decoration Day, we must truly understand what it means to decorate. When I say the word decorate, I'm sure it conjures up images of trees and lights and wreaths, banners, streamers, balloons, flowers. But what does it really mean to decorate? To decorate can simply mean to adorn, to beautify. And as a country, we've pretty much mastered that. We decorate everything. Our cars, our houses, our yards. We decorate for birthdays, for homecomings, and for every holiday, big and small. But the word decorate has a more noble origin. In Latin, the root decus means pride and dignity, honor, distinction, and glory, grace and beauty. In ancient Rome, a military decoration was all of those things. Roman soldiers were awarded crowns, necklaces, and armbands to wear as signs of their valor. But our military decorations had a more humble beginning. In fact, it was a simple piece of cloth, a decoration that may have saved our army. At the end of the Revolutionary War, George Washington's Continental Army had really been through the ringer. Supplies were scarce and the rations were pretty meager. In his book, Almost a Miracle, historian John Ferling wrote that the Army did not implode in a frenzy of mutinies long before 1781 was little short of miraculous. Generals had lost the authority to honor their soldiers' courage with battlefield commissions, which up until that point was the only way commanders could reward their soldiers. So by August 1781, Congress couldn't even afford to pay existing officers, let alone pay new officers. The faithful service and outstanding bravery of America's soldiers pretty much went unrecognized and unrewarded. So Washington set out to do something that hadn't been done before. He created 2 awards exclusively for enlisted men and non-commissioned officers. Up until that point, neither the British Army nor any other European army had awards for anyone other than officers. America's Continental Army was no different. One of the new awards, the Badge of Distinction, was equivalent to our service stripes. But the other was the Badge of Military Merit. Our oldest military decoration for individual acts of conspicuous gallantry was a simple purple cloth heart embroidered with the word merit. After the war, no federal decoration was awarded to American service members until the Medal of Honor was created in 1861 during the Civil War. But on Washington's 200th birthday, the War Department revived the Purple Heart. Today, the Purple Heart still bears the word merit, but the medal is now awarded to those who are wounded in action, and sadder still, it is awarded to those who are killed in action. Decorating military service is common throughout the world, and honoring sacrifice is not unique to America. However, Memorial Day is a holiday that is uniquely American. It is unique in three ways: how it began, how it marks a beginning, and how we honor or decorate the men and women of our armed services. Remembrance Day marks the anniversary of the end of World War I on November 11th. This is the day when many other countries remember the men and women of their armed forces who have died. But for America, we honor those who have paid the last full measure in May. Our day to remember those who died in service did not begin at the end of a war between nations. It was born at the end of a war we fought within our own borders, a war fought between states, a war fought amongst brothers. Both sides suffered terrible losses, 600,000 dead, but it was the simple act of honoring service and adorning soldiers' graves with the flowers of May that gave birth to Memorial Day. Memorial Day was first known as Decoration Day, and it was officially observed for the first time on May 30th, 1868, because it was not the anniversary of a battle. It was not a day to commemorate war. It was a day to celebrate, to decorate, and commemorate the lives sacrificed in service. In America, Memorial Day is much more than a day to mourn our service members. This day marks the beginning of summer, a season filled with life and warmth. If you are like me, you remember the joy of summer, and Memorial Day marked my freedom. From long winters and coats and hats and boots, freedom to play outside, ride bikes, Memorial Day gave birth to summer. Though this day was set aside to remember those who died for our country, it is a day that honors and celebrates life and service. On that day in my hometown in Friendship, like many other towns in America still do, it's decorated top to bottom, red, white, and blue. And you can't have Memorial Day without a parade, right? Okay. These are not quiet, somber events. Parades in America are fun, true decorations of pride. Families drive to the beach, many on their first vacation of the year, and the skies over the cities erupt with fireworks that don't mourn the dead, but celebrate the season of life, freedom, and optimism. Which brings me to my next point. The American spirit is decorated with optimism. The Founding Fathers established our nation on the hope that the people, ordinary citizens like you and me, would guide and shape our nation to prosperity for our posterity. Now that's what I call optimism. Our Founding Fathers knew that there would be work and sacrifice if America were to succeed. John Adams said, "It will cost us to maintain this declaration and support and defend these states. Yet through all the gloom, I can see rays of ravishing light and glory. I can see that the end is worth more than all the means." Just in the last 100 years, Americans relied on this optimism to bring them through 7 major conflicts. And as Americans, we do what we've always done. We look to the future, even through the gloom of war. And with each new conflict, we draw from that innate optimism to find that the end, our freedom, is worthy of the sacrifices made by those in uniform. We are optimistic people who don't dwell on the sadness of the past. We look for ways to be inspired. We look for ways to be happy. We look for things to give us hope. It's just what we do. I think that's why we like to decorate. We put up decorations and we look forward for reasons to celebrate. Great. Finally, America can truly decorate for this holiday and celebrate the women and the men who made this possible. Every single man and woman serving in our armed forces today volunteered to serve. These service members and their families are truly the decoration of America's military. They grew up in the shadow of September 11, 2001, a defining moment for most of them, and many have endured multiple deployments with honor, distinction, and pride. Many return home to streets decorated with yellow ribbons and American flags. Their lives are decorated with hugs, kisses, and handshakes. For others, they return home in a casket draped with the most honored decoration of all, the American flag. They gave their service, they gave their optimism, they gave their lives,